All right, happening this weekend, comedian, actor, and impressionist Craig Gass is returning to Las Vegas for a couple of shows at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, and he's here in studio to give us a little preview. And you say it's the start of a little residency.
Yes.
But of course, you've been here. We talked about some of the sheer shenanigans last time you were in town.
Yeah, that was a little over a year ago for Super Bowl weekend, because I go to the Super Bowl every year and I interview the players. But this is the beginning of a mini residency throughout 2025. Every couple of months, I'm going to do a full weekend at Jimmy Kimmel's. And the show is it's a lot of impressions, because I've always been able to do any voice that I hear because of how I grew up. And,
remind everybody about that.
So this is not a joke. This is a true story. Everyone in my family is deaf. My mom, my dad, and my sister are all completely deaf. And growing up in a deaf family, I couldn't learn how to talk for my family. I learned how to talk by watching TV and copying all the voices I heard on TV. And never got an accent from the Bronx. And everybody in the Bronx sounds like Tracy Morgan. Everybody in the Bronx talk like this, whether you black or white, male or female. That's crazy. Hey, this is the voice of your next door neighbor, and I'm a Vietnamese girl. That's crazy. So, yeah, the weirder the voice, the easier it is for me to do it. And the show that I do is about not just impressions. Everyone I do an impression of is trying to meet me, and it's led to awkward moments.
Okay, so give me an awkward moment.
I had dinner with Christopher Walken, and he hated me.
Really?
He absolutely hated me.
Really?
Because another comedian, Richard Belzer, was at the table.
Richard.
Richard, who should have known better, he saw Christopher Walken come over. Christopher Walken's in a bad mood. He sits down. It's a dinner. There's a prepared meal on every table, every seat. Christopher Walken sits down, and he's not even looking up at Richard. Richard's talking to him. And then all of a sudden, Richard goes, all right, look, I know you're in a bad mood.
Already a problem.
I know a lot of people do an impression of you. You got to hear. And I went, oh, no, don't. And he goes, no, it's fine. Chris, look at me. Okay, now look at Craig.
Yeah.
He threw his utensils on the table and went, go ahead. And I went, I don't know if this sounds like you or not. But what I try to do is I try to sound as weird as possible. And every once in a while, I say the word cowbell. Pow! And he just looked at me and went, wow. And then he went back to his food, and I was like, and then Belzer goes, hold on, you ever heard anybody doing Adam Sandler? And he's got me going, hey, wow. And he goes, do Al Pacino. I'm doing Al Pacino. And then at some point he has me do Sam Kinison. I'm screaming at this guy at dinner going, I don't know if you remember me. And Christopher Walken just went, listen, I get it. You're talented. Good for you. And I was like,
that's a good compliment.
It's this guy. It's not me. Yeah, so that is what the show is.
Okay.
I got 4 shows this weekend, 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, Jimmy Kimmel's, and I'm so happy to finally get my own little real estate here in Vegas.
Well, it's a great comedy club. I've been there several times, and I just was mentioning the other day, like, just walking in is cool. You see all the memorabilia.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go upstairs to the actual comedy club.
Yeah, the showroom is amazing.
Yeah.
And you get, just the crowds are incredible. It's a great spot over there by the link. And some of the people who I do impressions of are going to be in the audience. There's some local musicians. Because there's also been some musician stuff. Like I did an impression of Gene Simmons that bothered Gene Simmons so much that Gene Simmons got on a plane, flew to New York, and he confronted me live on the air.
That was the Howard Stern?
On the Howard Stern show. Yeah, so there's going to be some awkward moments playing out in real time in that comedy club. So.
And speaking of that, because Howard Stern, if you go on that show, you know you're talented, and you've been on many, many, many times. You're like a regular.
Back on the show now as a regular, yeah.
Oh, good, yeah. So because people don't see you, a lot of people just listen on the radio, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I listen to Howard Stern, and still I think there's people that are really the real people, like a Trump or something like that. Yeah. You probably get that.
And then there's people that find out about me. I did a character on the show. Al Pacino had just had a baby, and I did a character on the show called Al Pacino's Baby, which was this dumb concept of just a baby that sounded like Al Pacino, where Howard Stern would interview and go, "Man, you're Al Pacino's baby. What do you like to do for fun?" What do I like? I like to pee. I love to pee. I need some milk. Hoo-ah. It was stupid. But I got a phone call Vivendi Entertainment made a Scarface video game, and Al Pacino recommended they have me do the voice
That
of
is so
Al Pacino
cool.
for it.
I
So,
love it.
Yeah.
Craig Gass, she's going to be at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, 17th and 18th. You got 2 shows, so 4 altogether. Thanks for coming in, man. We appreciate it. Always a great time with you and a great laugh.
That's crazy.
All right.